Hello, everyone. This is PH. Today, I'm going to be showcasing an MVP of my Q chain DAO system. We're going to be doing this in a couple ways. The best way to explain this, the Q does stand for what everybody's wondering for. It does stand for quantum, but at the end of this whole conversation, I'll really get into depths of what the Q2 does stand for. Um, this Q power chain is truly something that I am so excited to show the world. With what I've done is I have potentially, um, as we're getting into it, potentially built off Grace Hopper's work. So here we're going to be doing a Q-chain MVP interactive demo. We're going to be showcasing an AI-driven story evaluation, DAO or DAO governance voting, Allure NFT minting on the blockchain, and leaderboard ranking for storytelling. With this chain, my goal was to keep the ledgers of my screenplays stable, but I'm able to open up to other screenwriters as we can balance this chain through automation, which is so cool. And this means that if we can give story ideas and have the automation factor working, we really truly have something that is original. Um, so, and I would hint that it is definitely a step closer to AGI. So, what I did, as you can see, I preloaded this, and this is some of the battle, challenges to pop in here just to see and also get everything lined up properly. So we'll get into the math a little bit, and this is a pre-run already. Um, but right now, as I set up a cool MVP, so next is going to do an MVP execution plan right here. Um, we're going to run it. And this is a simulation. So what is happening, and it's taking a couple screenplay ideas or NFT ideas, and it's evaluating through an automated blockchain. And this is balanced through both AI grading and also human grading. So we have a check and balance happening. But what is the Q is my key framework is what's powering this. Key is a recursive mathematical understanding. We potentially have something called intelligence force, which is equivalent to intelligent design, where we can understand how design happens. And when that understanding, we can now put up a framework or truly build an environment around ideas. And if we know what those missing holes are from that environment and taking up those rules from the environment, then we can predict the answer or the fluid answer. So a lot of computation is static, and a lot of my work actually is a build off of Grace Hopper's work, and Grace Hopper is a legend of computation. So I would say my work comes from the other end of it, as we are now taking computation back into a universal language. As you can see, we'll pull up here. It did a great job with all the proposals. We have proposals ideas, and we have a ranking system that will go above and beyond. Sorry, my RAM is not the greatest. The reason I want to bring it up, as you can see, we have broken down wrap Bitcoins and stack Bitcoin understandings on this. So we have 15 proposals, and it's ranked our proposal ideas from the first to the last, as one ranked the 50, and looks like our best proposal actually was 14, even though DI scored 15, 100. And with our DAO votes, as you can see, 500 right there. And that's where the competition really comes in through all influences, the weight of the votes, and approval. The cool thing, though, is the risk adjustment allocation. This helps our investors. Any investor that wants to actually make money, we can actually allocate risk by public interest. The cool thing with the film industry, coming from a screenplay point of view, is that we have box office numbers. So once we have active numbers and active interest from social media reaches, we can create a zeitgeist understanding and also a human understanding of what people want to see and also what people don't want to see. And this truly creates a stable factor. So with this, we can create opportunities for people to upload information. And it doesn't matter good or bad. All information will give us information. And that means we can pay for the information. And we can play this via our own coin currency. So by doing this and by balancing our own coin currency, we now are looking for liquidable partners. And hence, with Ethereum or with wrapped Bitcoin, we have a huge potential to unlock a lot of capital and do it very eloquently. As you can see too, refined Q chain MVP, and it shows the governance, approved statuses, and it really wants us to go into this live factor, which is so beautiful to think about it. Um, let's proceed with the live deployment and see what happens just for some fun. See what it does. I don't know what's going to happen with this, so we're going to take a ride together. As our MVP has been validated, we can move on to the live deployment on blockchain testnet to prepare for integration. With opportunities, again, with Ethereum and the stacks, Bitcoin, there's a huge opportunity. The biggest focus is getting the smart contracts and getting actually people employed to be doing the coding and building it. We have already tested out the key or my maths work off of not large language models, but also built our own machine learning model off of Python, which has properly worked. So what is key? Key is a quotient integral. Um, and let me just finish this prompt and what type of chain is this? We all know it's a qualitative chain, not a quantitative chain. But let's see what the AI says. So the key isn't just an AI model, it's a structured force behind the Q chain, autonomous governance. Bitcoin, DeFi, and transmitted evolution. And this is the beauty of the math. And I can get into reading it, don't get me wrong, but like I said, it's a recursive intelligence system. We already have RGI, or is recursive general intelligence, which is a step closer to AGI. And as you can see, the problem today is that AI models are static, but here's the math. And that's the cool thing about what is going on is that right here, QTI updates it. And what we did is we took the understanding of how one cell updates another cell. It doesn't matter if it's an Excel spreadsheet or it's a biological cell. This mathematical equation, as you can understand, it's a lot of Q's and, built by a couple P's, but it drives on this whole model. And this is why I'm able to run this MVP through an LLM. The AI powered transmedia storytelling, and we can tune up this model in many ways. A lot of it actually, and more fun is that we can actually teach this model to train it up. So the more that you upload to it, the better. And with my storylines, I have already a franchise ready to be uploaded on this model. We're talking about 8 pieces ready to go called Afterlife, which talks about how artificial general intelligence and the world is going to act in 800 years, starting in the present. And that's running one more live simulation. The cool thing, like I said, this is all happening in real time. And all I have to do is now transfer this into the proper understandings in the code, computer code. So I am looking at using Hero, Stacks, Ethereum, and working truly to build this. And we can also add opportunities using other large language models, not just ChatGPT, to get our screenplay grading. So Gemini, you name it, Claude, we can use everyone's different opinions, and it makes our model and our qualitative chain stronger. And we can create a system where our people will literally be paying like coins to open up that opportunity. It takes money to make money, it takes energy to use energy, and that is an understanding that we are looking for truly the 1 to 3% of the back end. Oh, approved. As you can see, at the end of it, we only had a handful of projects get approved through all these proposals. And truly, through a simplified fashion, we can find quality screenplays, and then we can secure these now, not just from the math and the science, but also from the human interest. And that is a big thing that I would like people to truly understand. As you can see, right, proposals, rejected approval statuses. Let's just give a wrap up summary. Today's live QChain demo showcased the evolution of blockchain governance, blockchain DeFi, and transmedia storytelling, all powered by key and recursive intelligence framework. One, what we achieved in this demo: AI DAO governance, AI human weight voting insurance ensured fair governance and dynamic decision making, multi-agent AI collaboration, optimizing governance proposals over time, risk weight Bitcoin DeFi execution, liquidity allocation dynamically adjusts based on market volatility and risk modeling. sBTC, WBTC cross-chain execution was optimized for blockchain-backed DeFi operations. Transmedia and AI NFT expand and AI transmedia AI and lore NFT expansion. AI augmented storytelling ensuring narrative coherence and afterlife in the Drifter, which is my franchise. Community engagement determined lore expansion through AI curated story evolution. And a lot of these other stories, right, these were just random generated numbers, which it doesn't matter as we're testing this point out. Key takeaways why QChain is revolutionary. AI powered blockchain, first blockchain to use recursive intelligence, key to govern DeFi and storytelling. Bitcoin DeFi optimization. sBTC, WBTC backed liquidity is executed dynamically, reducing risk. Fair governance model. AI human hybrid voting prevents governance attacks and centralization. And adaptive storytelling. AI generated content evolves based on user engagement and continuity. QChain is not just a blockchain, it's a self-evolving ecosystem for AI, Bitcoin DeFi, and transmedia storytelling. So, as you can see, we have a lot of options, a lot of paths to go down. I want to keep this as short as possible, but I want to do something a little bit more on the side of it. As you can see, we already have the narrative tied into it, but we could do something even cooler with this blockchain that I don't think any other company will have this opportunity to do. So, because of my franchise, uh, let's talk about cute exploit. Excuse my spelling mistakes. And this is something really cool. So Q Exploit War is a game from the Drifter, and it's my Drifter. Let's just give it a little bit more context. What it does is we create a really cool game that uses history and uses hacking and actually fibbing and truth telling to secure the blockchain. What we're able to do is we're able to create teams and create a world like no other. But we're able to simulate hacking attacks. And by doing this, we're able to create like kind of like an AlphaFold understanding within securing the blockchain. So people can preemptively now discover, and because human ingenuity and creativity is completely different than everything we'll find synthetically or anything we'll find computationally, we are able to cut down a lot of these troubles before they even happen. So as you can see, something called Q Exploit Wars, we're able to break up our teams to defenders, attackers, and neutrals. Um, and this, what it happens is that defenders are the people that are the true sayers, and they're trying to make sure the system stays stable. Our attackers are the people that are trying to hack and trying to take advantage of the system to benefit themselves. And that's, I think, the difference between the two sides. The defenders are all about group and community, where the attackers are all about themselves. The neutrals are the in between. They understand the world. You have to be in between. As I was just talking, constant stress testing the Q chain smart contracts, real world exploit, and we've already tested this with understanding of using arbitrary code execution. Like in the games Pokemon or in Nintendo, you're able to hack into those systems and code those games. But we use this understanding to strengthen our systems, and this is where the recursive nature comes from. The Drifter blockchain security and intelligence mapping. As you can see now with the AR, VR driven world, we're able to now map historical side of things, but we're gathering more of the historical information. And this is where we can now pay for more people's information. The truer the history, the better it is. We can pay for it. But then again, people can get around a lot of things. So with pictures and even taking like, there's ways people will find ways to make money off of this. But with geocaching and the geospatial need in the world, this is another opportunity for us to secure the blockchain by using a geospatial understanding and using that business to secure the blockchain on top of it. So we can cross Q exploit wars and the Drifter into a full narrative for the afterlife world. But what it does, I guess, is we preemptively attack a lot of these potential hacker problems before they even become a problem. And that's the cool thing about this game. So we're able to create these glitches in the matrix, and these hackers or these defenders, attackers or defenders, all hackers, they go and they try to exploit these glitches one way or another. And we use that information to secure our system. So thank you again for joining me today. My name is Patrick Hampton, and we are here showcasing the Q-powered DAO system. And this is, like I said, a step closer to artificial general intelligence, as we are looking at potentially, and I say potentially because this is a couple days old, um, we potentially have found the fifth fundamental force of the universe. And if this is true, this Q-powered chain is revolutionary, and it is the first. And I've been working on this project for literally years. So as we've been hearing from South by Southwest, and a lot of companies been talking about AI powered movie making, we are ahead of the game. We aren't just ahead of the game. We are defining the game. So thank you very much. My name is Patrick P.H. Hampton, and I hope to talk to everybody about Key AGI, my company, and what we can provide through consultations or also through our products. One love.